We got a roll program. Neil Armstrong reporting the roll and pitch program, which puts Apollo 11 on proper heading.
12 men who have walked on the moon have written 15 books among them. Just those 12 guys have 15 books. So it would take you a month just to read the books, just that the guys who've walked on the moon have written, and they have sort of told their story. The story I was interested in was the story of the people who got the astronauts to the moon. If a bolt wasn't in the right place on a B-52 bomber, the plane wasn't going to fall out of the air. But space is a much more unforgiving environment, and computers are much more unforgiving. For every hour of flying to the moon, walking around, driving around, 1 million hours of work was done back on Earth. And a typical American works 100,000 hours in their entire career. So an hour of Apollo spaceflight required the equivalent of the entire work lives of 10 people. That's sort of mind-boggling. Imagine being allowed to do something for 1 hour that 10 people had worked their entire careers to get you ready to do. That level of intensity is almost unimaginable. A lot of work back on Earth was done by hand. The spacesuits were sewed by hand. The parachutes were folded by hand. The wheels of the lunar rover were made of piano wire, and the piano wire was also woven by hand. And if any of that work wasn't done perfectly, then the spacesuit might not perform the way it needed to on the moon. Ordinary Americans rose to the occasion in this remarkable way, and they're the ones who got us to the moon, right? The astronauts flew the spaceships, but they didn't build the spaceships. They didn't design the spaceships. They didn't imagine the spaceships and all the things that went along with it. And so that too is a great story. And the astronauts would be the first to tell you that, that work was more important even than their own work. The 6 successful moon landings involved 18 people. You include Apollo 13, 21 people, 12 of whom actually walked on the moon, 410,000 people back on Earth. So there's a lot of incredible work and imaginative work and great human stories behind what it took to get us there.